Hi everyone, I'm Tim Cash. This is the IMDb show. Give it up for Laura Dern.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome, this is big.
Thank you.
I mean, what a moment. Congratulations on life.
Hey,
Literally.
thank you.
Congrats on life.
I like that. I'm really appreciative.
You swept the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, SAG Awards, nominated for Best Supporting Actress at the Oscars. Like, what are you doing? What, celery juice in the morning? Like, what have you given
Which
up?
works.
Does it?
Maybe it is
so
the
that's
celery
secret?
juice. Yeah.
What
it's
is
Anthony
the
Williams'
secret? What's been going on? What's happening?
Other than the celery juice, you pinch yourself when you're an actor getting to work with favorite filmmakers, writers whose scripts are perfection, and an incredible tribe of ensemble actors where everywhere you turn is just an extraordinary actor to work with and play with. It's amazing.
What was it about Marriage Story that made you say yes?
Well, Noah Baumbach actually started talking to Adam Driver. This is their fourth collaboration together, and myself a good year before he had a screenplay. And we're friends. We started having dinners, and then he did the same with Scarlett Johansson, and said he wanted to make a love story, didn't know who was going to play what part or the story per se. And as it built itself, we were deeply entrenched and excited before we even had this screenplay, which, when delivered, was like the great Christmas present of our lives.
With a bow?
It. With a bow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, my first time watching Marriage Story, you play a fearless lawyer for Scarlett Johansson's character, Nicole. You play Nora. For me watching it, I felt it was so specific that it felt too real. Did you base that character on anything, or where did you conjure that up from?
I mean, really, I based it on Noah's words. I know people have said, is it this lawyer, is it this lawyer? But I think Noah wanted to encapsulate what is broken about the system and business of divorce, and how, your lives and your family are sort of hijacked when you enter the world of the process of divorce and family law, especially when you're dealing with custody issues with a child that, of course, you both care about more than anything in the world. So I think he did that also researching and the good graces of people really wanting to talk about what works and what is broken in the system, lawyers, judges, mediators, and he did as well as myself. And so I think they were all great collaborators in trying to really understand it.
One of the first times we meet you in the movie is this immense scene where you meet Nicole. And Nicole goes on this giant monologue. She's talking to you, she goes to the bathroom, she blows her nose, she comes back and delivers this awesome monologue. You give her so much as an actor, but in complete silence. So what goes into that?
Well,
how do you prep for that?
It's an amazing opportunity, and one that circles back in the film when I have a monologue and she's listening, and sets up my character perfectly, which is, tell me your story. I want to hear you the way you've not been heard, even in your marriage. Let me be your best friend. Let me be your therapist. Let me be your champion, and I will help you win the narrative you deserve. Which is an incredible strategy for a divorce lawyer, because you think it's your best friend and you talk to them for hours on end and they charge you every 15 minutes.
And they bill you.
But it also speaks to who she believes, she will be for Nicole. But, there is a lot of strategy involved.
When you meet Scarlett, did you know Scarlett Johansson before?
We'd met, but we didn't know each other well. We'd never had a meal or anything. This was really our first time being together, both on the film and then through press. We've gotten to know each other really well.
So then there's the personal side of meeting another human being, and then there's the work side where you're meeting your future colleague that you're going to share these moments with. How did you both approach working together from an actor's perspective?
I think like any workplace, there's an incredible intimacy in saying we're going to be in our most vulnerable selves, needing to be deeply connected and there for each other. And so I think, go deeply into a friendship and to sharing secrets and breaking bread, literally.
So you start there in real life.
You do.
Okay.
I mean, I think we did, and I think, nothing was, was off topic. We really, I think, were there for each other, and we were making a film about heartbreak and loss and parenting and all these very intimate things. And so I think we wanted to find the bonding in those conversations in a great way, and I wanted her to feel that I was a good listener to her. And I think one of the most bonding things was she had this outrageously brilliant and detailed and long monologue to memorize. So I wanted to work with her on it in the days leading up to it, so that I was there as a listener as she was memorizing, just even in hair and makeup, running it together, which was fantastic. But we had a rehearsal process and dinners and hang time too. And Adam, I had met before because I was in a Star Wars film with him. And
yes, you were. Don't just throw that off to the
whatever,
side
Star
right
Wars.
there.
A little movie. But,
tiny little thing, I did a part-time independent feature, no big deal.
But we had gotten to know each other through that, and also through Noah, which was so lovely.
Is it quite a different flex of muscles going from something like Star Wars Marriage Story, you're in a room, it's like a love story told through like the lens of divorce, it's very real, very personal, and then we're starships and aliens and stuff. Is it a different flexing muscle or exactly the same thing?
Are you allowed to cuss on
Yeah,
IMDb?
go ahead. You can do what
But
you
I was
like.
the only thing that first came to mind was I was like, wow, every time I meet Adam Driver, I'm like, I'm about to blow your up. So I've done it twice in different universes, but it seems that he has that effect on me.
I hope he doesn't hold a grudge somewhere
I hope
deep
so too.
down.
No, next movie I'll be really nice to him.
Be someone super nice to him. That's the thing with this movie. I speak to a ton of people, and so many people have said to me, this movie was hard for them to watch. It was too real for them to watch. Was that, when you were reading it on page, were there moments where you were like, oh, this is going to be a little awkward or hard to shoot?
Well, hard to shoot, yes. I mean, I think there are so many scenes. The magical work of Noah and the crew, and of course Adam and Scarlett in the fight scene is extraordinary. I mean, how any of them did it, I don't know. I mean, it must have been excruciating, and it's beautiful.
And his style of shooting he is up close and personal.
Oh, yeah.
He's part of what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, he says, which I love so much, he says, my actors are my special effects. I want to make human stories.
Right.
And he definitely does it in a beautiful and unrelenting and human way. He tells stories. So that's why I love his films and wanted so much to work with him. But I think that's the beauty of the movie, too. I also find the movie so hilarious. There are such hysterical moments. So for me as an audience, I never found it too much. I found it such a gift because I do feel like there's such catharsis in it, and I think it's for everybody. One of my favorite conversations was our first screening at Telluride. A couple ran up to Noah and said, "Thank you so much. We just got married. This is the most romantic movie ever." And we looked at each other as the crew. We were like, what do they mean? But they said, "We're going to write letters now. We're not going to wait."
Ah, okay.
I thought that was so beautiful.
Yes, smart.
So depending upon what you're bringing into it,
they're doomed, but smart.
Yeah,
go on.
It has a lot to offer, for sure.
Enough softball, right? You've done it to yourself. You're in 2 of the Best Picture nominated films, Marriage Story and Little Women. On the night, it's a busy night for you. Which party do you go to?
Oh, wow.
Come on.
All of the parties.
You're gonna hit them all?
Got to.
Do you feel a different way? Because I guess in a cliche way, these are all your babies, right? Little Women's one of your children, and
sure.
Marriage Story. Do you feel a different type of way with each movie, or is it just all very much the same?
Well, I love them both equally, made by people I love equally who are a couple.
Yeah.
So I ain't going to one and not the other.
And that's an awkward house at the end if one wins.
There's no way I don't honor both equally. And they're such amazing filmmakers and made perfect movies this year that I truly love. And I truly spent my last year with them.
Yeah,
both
you
in
must
press
have
and
been
work.
really involved in that partnership that they both have.
Oh, yes.
What do you see? Are there what's a big similarity between the way they both work, and then what's a huge difference with the way that they work?
I would say the similarity to me that's deepest is the musicality and the rhythm of their language. You know, you really feel the rhythm used in the mess and the complication of overlapping, in how they have actors work and feed off of each other in especially bigger ensemble scenes. I think there's a real musical nature to both movies, literally and in the design and rhythm of them. And differences, I would say Noah's the witness to his characters. Like a deep and empathetic father, and Greta, perhaps because she's an actor, is in the character with you. Like, she is Marmee with me, she is Joe with Saoirse. Like, I think she lives and breathes the character in a different kind of way. And I would say that's just the difference of someone who has been a writer-director all his life first and foremost, and perhaps because Greta's been in the experience of being character, that how she sort of comes at it. Maybe.
Great answer.
I don't know.
No, great answer. Let me ask you this, is, you know, nowadays, if you think about Marriage Story nominated for Best Picture, you know, a large majority of the world is going to watch this at home, on TV, on Netflix. Is this, like, for me, I'm still not over it. Like, I'm at that age where it's like, I remember before only having theatrical releases. Now
Yes.
I've got this other option. How do you feel about that as an actor?
It's been an amazing experience with Marriage Story, being in what would be perhaps a smaller independent film, to have a company that can promote it, give it a long-run theatrical release, and even buy the theater that I love so much, which is the Paris in New York City where it played, to preserve the independent cinema experience. So they're really investing themselves in that experience and protecting it. But also, when that run occurs, unlike Citizen Ruth, Rambling Rose, Wild at Heart, Blue Velvet, where when that theatrical run comes and some big studio movie comes in, and so you're out of the theaters, you can keep finding it every day. And I run into people every day that are now finding and discovering or rediscovering Marriage Story on Netflix, which is amazing and gives it a long life, but also they're giving real autonomy to filmmakers, and having grown up with actor parents and knowing what it was like for them to work at United Artists in the 70s, they give their filmmakers autonomy because they can.
Amazing.
And that is fantastic. That's everything we wanted. That's what we wanted when we fell in love with Hal Ashby. We wanted it for him, and now we want it for Noah or Alfonso or David Lynch. So that excites me. And
Go on.
we have to keep them, all of them, everyone, Amazon included, since we're in their building right now, keep them faithful to the collective experience of cinema. Both things are true, and we need it. It's our cinema church, you know, to share next to a stranger the emotion and heartbreak of an experience, or laughing together. Like, we all grew up on that. That's why we wanted to do this. So may both things always be true.
Before we wrap this up, I gotta ask you, how does it feel right now to know that you are gonna have to start doing those big wide-eyed looks all over again, because nothing's scarier than a dinosaur, with the brand new Jurassic Park? What's it feel like to be, after, you know, having made such an amazing film, to come back to it and be back with that cast? Is it clocked in yet? Are you there? How are you feeling?
If we follow current politics, there actually may be things scarier than a dinosaur. But,
yeah, true.
but second only, you know, I'm excited. I'm really excited at the idea. I mean, they're working away and in the land of what the story will be.
What are you excited for with that project?
I love Ellie Sattler, and I have grown up with her alongside me. I would say Ellie Sattler and being fortunate to be considered a muse or partner to David's work have been the two things people talk to me most about. And so many children, and particularly young women, who idolized and felt she was sort of one of their first feminist bad action characters. I love the idea of seeing where she is now. I think it's a really interesting time to bring back a character like that, and the idea of being with Sam and Jeff again, and being in the company of Colin, but also with the vision of Stevens and the support of amazing Frank Marshall. It's like, going back and being with your family.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Jurassic, the brand new Jurassic Park featuring Trumposaurus Rex, I think that's what we're going to have.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that's
that
it.
might be what it is.
Laura, listen, congratulations on everything. Like I said,
Thank you.
on life. It was so nice to meet you.
It's so great to meet you. Congratulations on life for you as well.
Sure, I'll take it.